and welcome to Yottabyte Entertainment. My name is Stephen Rutherford, and I am the CEO and founder of Yottabyte. Here at Yottabyte, we develop award-winning apps. Let me tell you a little history about our company. We started out in a garage to develop apps and games for our community. In the United States, we were very successful, so then we decided to go to a foreign market. We chose South Korea because it was a perfect fit. And the reasons why is because they're the #1 gaming community. And our philosophy is to make good apps for good people.
Hello, how are you doing? My name is William Deben. I'm the CFO and co-founder here at Yottabyte. And as Stephen mentioned, our philosophy here at Yottabyte fits very well with the South Korean culture. In March 2012, after some success here in the States, we decided to launch our apps in South Korea. First, we chose the Android market, which has a one-time fee of $25. And next, we chose the iTunes market, which has a $99 yearly fee. Now look at some factors that affect the balance of trade between the USA and South Korea. First is the current trade surplus between the USA and South Korea of $4.46 billion in April of 2014. Next is the current free trade agreement between the USA and South Korea, which was established March 15th, 2012. And finally, we're going to say net neutrality is one of the more important factors that affect the balance of trade between the two countries. I'm going to discuss foreign exchange and how we convert our South Korean won into US American dollars. Yottabyte income is created by each app sold in South Korea. Each app sells for 2,000 Korean won, which is approximately $1.94 in US dollars. We use the spot market to establish prices for the apps and when exchanging money on the fly. We decided to use JP Chase as our international bank. They have the lowest ask price and the lowest bid-ask spread. It is the cheapest.
Now we're going to discuss on accessing the trade data. According to Korea.net, 98.5% of all Korean cell phone users use a smartphone. According to CNN.com, 1 in 2 South Koreans own a smartphone. We know that apps are huge in South Korea, so that was the reason why that we went over to South Korea. After reviewing the import controls set by South Korea, we have determined that business would not be affected by the current trade regulations, considering primarily because of the current free trade agreement between the United States and South Korea, and the net neutrality between both two countries. In addition, there are 2 other factors that will likely affect the value of the South Korean won in the future. First, increased production from companies like Samsung and Kia. And second, future stability between North Korea and South Korea.
Our business could possibly be affected by the Federal Reserve attempts to strengthen the dollar value. This would inadvertently weaken the South Korean won, which will create a negative impact on our business model until the currencies arrive at parity. To mitigate this risk, we plan to hedge against an appreciating US dollar by implementing triangular arbitrage to keep Korean won exchange rates level.
However, if the Fed decides to weaken the dollar, this would cause the South Korean won to increase in value, which would be beneficial for the short term for our corporation until there is parity. Indirectly, the central bank, through Congress, we find that the government capital infusions and banks have a significant positive impact on borrowing firms' stock returns. However, the government bailing out corporations may help the job market, but it will cause a bigger impact in the deficit. We need to focus on creating jobs in America, and our corporation is helping us make that a reality.
Now we'll explain how to hedge currency risk with futures and options contracts. Because of modern technology, we are able to use currency futures to hedge the exchange rate risk of Yottabyte. Looking first at futures contracts, we decided on a Korean won to euro future contract to hedge against Korean won depreciation. The contract order size is 125,000 euro at 14.29 Korean won per euro, at a total cost of 12.50 euro for the contract. The contract has a start date of May 31st, 2014 and a maturity on December 31st, 2015.
Now we're going to discuss about options. Options are more appealing due to the fact that the cash flows are not known for a corporation. Since we have a large foreign exchange exposure to Korean won from app sales in South Korea, this means we are long in Korean won. To hedge against the risk of Korean won depreciating, we will purchase a currency call option contract at a specified price for US dollars to offset the loss against depreciation in Korean won. Since we want the smallest bid-ask spread, we chose JP Morgan as our bank. JP Morgan's spread for the bid-ask is non-existent. In comparison to the Commerzbank foreign exchange, the bid-ask spread is much larger at 4 Korean won.
Continuing our assessment of the spot rates, we will look at the disparity or parity between the two countries' interest rates. After obtaining a spot quote, we then obtained a 1-year forward rate on the Korean won. We then used that forward rate along with 1-year interest rates in the US and South Korea to use them in the interest rate parity formula, which is this formula right here. After completing the formula, we found that the South Korean 1-year rate is higher right here. This leads us to believe that there is a disparity between the two countries and their different interest rates.
Now we're going to create parity between the two. You see, there's disparity. We don't like disparity, so we're going to get rid of this little guy right here. And now we're going to go about the money markets. Money markets, what's going to happen is the demand for the Korean won is going to increase, which will in turn increase the value for the Korean won. And inversely, the supply for the dollar is going to increase, and the value for the dollar will decrease. This will make people want to buy American goods because it's cheaper in the United States as opposed to the Korean won. Now for the questions regarding whether the forward rate of the foreign currency is at a premium or at a discount. Well, we could use two equations, which are pretty much the same thing. The forward minus the spot of the spot, the percentage change, or the forward divided by the spot minus 1, still a percentage change. I'm going to go with this one right here. So the forward is at 0.0095758, and the spot's at 0.000975154. When I implement that into the equation, outputs a negative, and since it's a negative answer, it's a discount as opposed to positive being a premium. So it's a negative 0.014, etc. at a discount, and initially it was at negative 0.90, considering that the interest rate of the home minus the interest rate of the foreign currency was at that answer, and then it moves over slightly to the left of the graph. Thank you. In conclusion, you guys are going to love this. We have this new app that we just developed. I'm going to show you in a little bit. I have it right here. Hold my hand. Last year's model was okay, but this year's is fantastic.
In conclusion here at Yottabyte, as your CFO, we've outlined a couple steps that we'd like to take in the near future.
Correct.
First would be to list some corporate bonds. With these corporate bonds, we can create funds for our company, so we can do things like, A, open an office in South Korea, B, increase our market exposure through increased marketing,
And of course,
more apps. We need more apps so we can generate more stable cash flows for this company. Thanks for taking the time to watch our presentation about Yottabyte Entertainment. And just to leave you with our slogan, which is
good apps.
for good people.
Yottabyte, Yottabyte, gotta have that Yottabyte. It's not a gigabyte, no. It's not a nanobyte, no. It's a Yottabyte, yeah. Yeah, Yoda.
Yottabyte.
Yottabyte Entertainment. Thank you.